Hey, Redcasters, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos. Go Big Red.
As in Scoring Explosion, where we break down all things Husker offense. And Honky, I think there's some video clips you want to walk through with us.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's start with the first play of the game. And it was an option out of the I formation 3 wide receiver set. So it's a triple option here, basically to the left. And before we even lined up, I was sitting with my cousin in the stands and I see the formation. And when you see the 3 wides out of that eye, I was just like, this is an option set. I didn't think we were going to necessarily run an option, but we did right out of it. And that was, but what I wanted to highlight here was the second receiver from the top is Kemp. And you see this blocking. If you're going to go back to the Ron Brown days in the 90s of running option football, Osborne would always say, if you're going to run option, you've got to have receivers blocking out there. And you see Kemp still going. So yeah, we'll put this on loop here. But really focusing on him is him blocking that guy out to the left, taking him 10 yards, and that's what Haarberg cuts off and comes under. Actually, we get a little bit better block, I think, out of the fullback there, which would have been Bonner. If we get a little bit better block out of that, then even the guy that was chasing him there. Yeah, so right there, the fullback just misses there. That's the guy that ends up getting the tackle there. That play could have gone for easily another 5 yards or so without Haarberg even getting touched there. Yeah, he would have made one move on that one guy. And I
got a question on that play, Honky. The running back all the way in the back there, like, isn't he supposed to be trailing a little bit closer though on that play for the pitch, just in the event that he pitches it, or am I just not seeing that right?
The second that he cuts up, that Haarberg cuts up, I mean, ideally, I think you'd like to see the runner mirror the quarterback a little closer. I used to do drills with quarterbacks where I would have them do
5 yards apart right there.
Well, this is fine.
Right there, so he needs to be turning up quicker
right here. Now is where he needs to turn up because now you got too much separation there. And look, he may want to pitch right now. Let's say he didn't have that guy dragging him. If he wanted to pitch and he doesn't have Ramir there right at that point. So I used to do a drill with quarterbacks where I would have them zigzag and do weird, crazy zipper things around cones and stuff. And that running back had to follow him. It was on the running backs. It was their responsibility to follow the quarterback and maintain that proper distance. It's not on the quarterback's responsibility there. He's reading what's happening and cutting, respectively, and the running back needs to be there. And if you went back to the best days of the option, I thought the best option, the pure option runner that we ever had was Frost, because he was such a bad option runner at one point. He had to really learn it. He wasn't smooth and natural the way that Frazier was. And when he had to learn it, he got to the point where he would just pitch it and he didn't even, you just assumed it, he didn't even look at where he was pitching. He just pitched it, and Amon Green or whoever it was better be there to get it. And in this play here, that specific play, yeah, I think that Ramir kind of loses a little bit of that distance. But specifically, first play of the game, I just loved seeing the aggressiveness that Kemp was showing right away.
Honky, just for the fun of it, you could bring it up one more time because maybe some of our listeners haven't watched as much triple option as you or I. But what do you think about Haarberg's line here? Do you think he probably should have been a little flatter and not so deep on that, and actually been running? He seemed like he was a little indecisive on.
Yeah, I don't know.
Not as should have took a more direct route to the sideline, I guess.
Yeah, so it's this little right there. That slowed him down just enough. And this isn't a real true triple option because they clearly weren't going to hand that to the fullback. So this was more of a kind of a lead option there, I guess. But ideally, you'd like to see him just really burn it straight right now. He kind of turns and then he makes that one cut. Yeah. So that, I mean, that's getting real detailed down into but that's one extra step. It slows him down just a little bit. And maybe that's the difference between him being half a step ahead of that tackler there. And if the fullback gets a little bit better block there too, he's not even touching and he's starting to pick up speed, and he's got one guy one-on-one. And if he has the trail guy right there, pitch it, and that trail guy could be going down this could be a touchdown down the
Amon Green run along the sideline,
Yep.
I'm curious though too. It almost looked like he saw the fullback missing that block, so that's why he continued going outside. It almost looked like if the fullback had made that block,
he shouldn't have.
I'm just wondering.
Yeah, you'd want to go out. I mean,
Yeah.
The play's intended to go outside. That clearly where the running back's going. But yeah, so it was great to see that as the first play. I was excited to see that we came out right away and ran that play number one, and it got 6, 7, 8 yards there. And we'll take that. A little bit further, all three of these plays that we're going to show on offense are all on the first drive, a touchdown drive. The next one here is a play action. And so here we are, we're under center yet again, second play under center. And it's the completion that's thrown across the middle to Marcus Washington. And this gets back to what Boomer, you were talking earlier about Trey Palmer, not necessarily having that one guy that's just going to get open by himself. Now look at this zone and look at
that was on a rope too.
Yeah. And look at how wide open Washington is in the middle of this zone. Now, the point here isn't that, Washington's not Trey Palmer. He didn't get open because he just burned by somebody. This is opened up by the offense, by the scheme. So on this next loop, when you watch it, watch the linebackers here and watch the play action. Watch what all three of these linebacker guys all come up. They all bite on this, and you can see the second that they plant their foot in the ground and go, oh, crap, and start turning around. By that point, it's too late. Haarberg throws a great throw on a rope right in between them all. But I mean, that is the offense opening up the receiver into a wide open zone. So
I was going to ask if he could have sold that handoff a little bit better, but after you pointed out those linebackers, like it looks like he sold it perfectly. So,
yeah. And and this is the first snaps of Haarberg playing. These are his first drive as a starter, and so when you look at this, is what they were scripting. This is what they were trying to, they felt that he could do well, and they put it right away here in this first drive. And it's under center, it's option, it's running the ball, and then play actioning off of that run. In this case here, it's a play action right into the pocket, essentially. Good pocket, by the way. And let's see here, I'm counting numbers there. They have 7 guys in that protection. It's play action with 7 guys in protection. So you're not putting your quarterback into a real perilous situation.
Mm-hmm. Love play action. Very nice.
Yep. And the third play here, and this is the touchdown. And the first part of the focus is that we talked at the beginning about being creative. And Kemp is lined up here. Kemp catches the touchdown here. And look at the blocking downfield by Bullock, number 1. So there's Bullock at the bottom leading it. So Kemp did a great job blocking on the option. Here's Bullock doing a great job here. But Kemp is lined up in the backfield. So this is very Wandale Robinson-like. You can find ways where they could hand the ball off to him and everything. They throw the pass out to him. He catches it. He's about 3 yards downfield, cuts up. Now, the other block that he gets up there is from Fedoni. Now, the next time that we watch the loop, you watch Fedoni here, and there's a danger of this could actually probably be an offensive pass interference or maybe a pick.
Yeah, I was worried about that.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Right here, since we're actually throwing the ball.
Better,
yeah, since we're throwing the ball, I don't know if this is supposed to be thrown across the line of scrimmage. I don't know if Kemp should have come more right along the line of scrimmage where you would be able to make that contact if you were Fedoni. But if you're going downfield, you got to be real careful to make sure if you're number 24 not to be hitting that guy. And right there, he's hitting number 1. That could easily be a pick.
The ball.
Yep.
But that block there by Bullock, he handed it off. Like it almost looks like he was looking at the running back and thought maybe he handed it off, and that's why he made the block. But I could be wrong, like because he's watching. Here he looks, and then he almost looks like, hey, the running back has the ball. I better block it.
That's an excellent
RPO type scenario, though.
That's an excellent point there, Rob. That could have been, and I think at the end of the day, it's probably on Kemp to stay at the line of scrimmage or behind, because to your point there, Rob, he may have handed that ball off, and Fedoni needs to be blocking downfield, right? So if that's a handoff, then Fedoni needs to be blocking that guy already. It's on the receiver there to make sure that Kemp you're not downfield.
Let me be clear on this, Honky. If Kemp would catch that behind the line of scrimmage, Fedoni's block is legal?
Yeah. Yep. If you're behind the line of scrimmage, you can have guys downfield making contact. That's how you run screens.
Can't he make it up to 5 yards beyond the line of scrimmage, though? Isn't that it? Like you can still make contact 5 yards.
All I'll say is that it gets into a real it gets into a close, hairy situation, and it seems more times than not we've had that stuff called on us. And you don't want to be going against Michigan, catch a touchdown, and have it called back because of a legal pick. We've had that happen
Yeah, they'll
before.
be looking at him.
2, 3. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
he was
a
like
Boomer.
right at 5 yards when he made that hit. So,
Hey, Boomer, what do you think of Haarberg's sidearm delivery? Like slinging Sammy Baugh out there or something, man?
Yeah, it's definitely noticeable. It's a little different, and I guess if it's working, great. Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
You're 6'5", you can do that, but it might come back to haunt you at some point.
It could. That worried me a little bit too. If you get a tall enough D line, that could be some problems. But I guess I haven't measured the entire D line in the Big Ten yet. But
in that case, it looked like he threw it around the defender right there too, though. Like he saw the defender coming,
times where he really drops that arm ankle.
Like right here, the defender looks like he's ready to block the pass, and he drops the arm to the side and throws it around him instead. Like
there was a play that was coming right at us where we were sitting, and I don't think we completed it, but he threw it. He did the same thing. It would look like a baseball throw, like a shortstop throwing it, and he threw it around a defender. A defender was in between the receiver and him, and he got it around him. Scary as hell. I mean, he got it around, and I don't think we caught it on that play, but yeah, it's a different way of throwing it. I don't know if you guys saw the video. It was the quarterback for, I think it's who played Baylor last week, like Long Island.
Long Island University, the Fighting Sharks. Yes,
the quarterback. The quarterback for Long Island had the craziest release I've ever. Like he literally threw it like Uncle Rico. Just whipped it, like from his hip. It was crazy.
You can throw it over the mountains.
Well, and the thing is though too, is that like if we're watching, and I'm not making this comparison, saying this only in that, if we're watching the NFL and Patrick Mahomes makes that play, they're gonna replay it 100 times. Like, look at the athleticism on this guy, like being able to drop that elbow and throw it around the defender and make the completion for the touchdown. And oh my God, how that's so incredible! This is why this guy's so magical. And here we are.
You're right.
Heinrich Haarberg, we're questioning it.
And
I get what you guys are saying. I see that happen, and I think like, wow, that's like, to me, that's like getting creative. He sees the defender in front of him. He knows that the guy's like, 6'4", whatever, could probably jump up and knock down the pass where he needs to make it. So he drops the arm and throws it around him instead of over him, where he might knock it down, right? And so for me, I like it. That's where I like it. It feels like he's getting somewhat creative, and he made the completion, he made the touchdown. So I don't want to knock it. Is he going to miss some of those? Sure, but he's not going to complete every pass, even if it's over the top. So it doesn't really matter.
I mean, Vegas Jares is like, Rob just compared Haarberg to Mahomes, and we've had these comparisons of Nebraska quarterbacks and Mahomes in the past, so we don't want to do that too often. But I mean, like Mahomes is Mahomes. There's a few others
it's just a sidearm pass is what I'm comparing it to, right?
Yeah, all I'm saying though is that it's. I mean, in the long history of football, sidearm passers aren't always the most successful. That's all I'm saying, Rob. I'm statistically, saying that it's not always the safest bet, right? Especially if you're 6'5" and you're a drop back passer. Over the top, you're not going to get your balls knocked down very often, right? But look, I mean, it is what it is. He completes passes. I'm fine with it. It's just interesting. That's all.
Shorzy69 says Haarberg honestly reminds me of Eric Crouch. I hope he gets more chances. He's bigger than Eric Crouch, that's for sure. The one comparison that Haarberg and Sims have together is just the size. I mean, those guys are both 6'4", 6'5", big receiver or big running backs, big quarterbacks, and big running quarterbacks. And at 220, 225, they can lay the wood on some guys, and they've got some speed. Both of them have shown that in the first 3 games.